when it comes to CBDC, like they don't like nobody knows anything, and they're not like concerned about it. I actually, it's wild. I meant to bring it up, but like 2 days ago, my mom actually texted me, and my mom will like read a story, and she literally will go like on exile herself because she's so scared kind of person. But she's sending me links to like, oh my god, have you heard about this? And I'm like, yeah, mom, I've been telling you about this for like the last like 2 years. You haven't really listened to me, but some dude writes some letter on the Guardian, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know. But anyways, I guess what I'm getting at, like, when you meet random people, when you're talking to them, like, is this something that people are aware of? Because I still think, and when I do bring it up, people are like, oh no, that would never happen here, and I'm like, well, all signs are leading to like they're going to want to start pushing this here. And you saw the note from the Federal Reserve, like we're researching it and all these things. Like I don't, I'm kind of lost, and maybe it's because I'm in the Bitcoin bubble world that I know about this, and I've heard about Mark Yusko screaming about it for the last couple of years. But I don't know. Is that something that you hear of?
Like specific to CBDCs?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Uh,
are people know about like what
nah,
happened with
like
the Bank of Ukraine when people are like, hey, they're fleeing, and they're like, yeah, okay, well, cool. Here's like $1,000, and this is the most you can withdraw, and have a great life in a different world. Like that should scare the hell out of everybody.
everyone. No, absolutely. I mean, specific to CBDCs with my normie friends, like absolutely not. Like
Yeah,
with when I still have a lot of ties to normie land, if I'm being quite honest with you, and like it's like split. Half of my friends literally won't stop asking me about like Bitcoin or crypto related questions, and then the other
yeah,
half just like have no interest whatsoever in like having those type of conversations with me. And it's interesting because like some of their responses are like, I just like I don't care to know or understand that.
like
And
ignorance is bliss kind of thing. Like,
and like it truly is like actually on that, like I had one of my very good friends from college like ask me, is like, do you feel like worse like knowing the things that you know, like
mm,
seeing and connecting
mm,
the dots that you do, not necessarily saying that like this is what will pass, but seeing the potential calamities. um and I mean, it is nerve wracking, but at a certain point, some things just aren't like I can't stop if the governments want to roll out a CBDC. I can choose whether or not I interact with that technology and how I interact with that technology. But
yeah,
like worrying myself over they're going to introduce this state controlled monetary surveillance tech, ultimately, no, I don't. It's out of my control. Like I've gotten really good about that. It's also interesting to me just, you know, some of the bullshit narratives that people are buying too. Cuz
mm,
it's not even that they're understanding that CBDCs are surveillance, like truly all a CBDC is
yeah,
state run money that they can see every transaction in real time. And I think actually I forgot to bring this point up. I think there's another thing where again, where it comes to my normie friends, like I come from a privileged background. I don't know any of my friends who don't have a bank account.
mm,
Almost all of my friends have a credit card. Like we've KYC'd ourselves by having these accounts in the ways that we do. And there is a degree in which I think if you were to explain, like I can think of like two or three of my friends off the top of my head where if I were to just like go down this rabbit hole of a CBDC with them, they'd be like, right, but like if the government wanted to know what I'm spending all my money on, like they can just subpoena Bank of America and
right,
whatever bank or like whatever bank I bank with and whatever credit card I use, like a Discover card or Capital One or whatever, like they could just reach out to these businesses and subpoena and they'd get that same information with the exception of those cash transactions. But it's that at least step of friction that exists right now versus like, no, there's now going to just be someone with a government job. So think a DMV worker who is going to be watching what you spend your money on. And if you spend your money at the wrong time of day, go to the
yeah,
wrong place, spend it on the wrong thing, or this guy just, I don't know, slips on his fucking keyboard accidentally, like now all of a sudden, like your wallet's shut down.
yeah,
And again, My expectations is if this gets rolled out, the quality of workers in this department are akin to the DMV. So imagine now, instead of having to call like a bank where customer service is actually a part of how these banks compete with one another, now all of a sudden you have the government that doesn't care because they are everyone's bank. Everyone's got to use them. Imagine getting locked out on accident. Like truly just an accident. Someone pressed the wrong button
Yeah.
and you do not have access to your money because it's state run money. But like you've got to wait in like a DMV-esque line almost to get your uh to get your wallet unlocked. That's a scary
Yeah.
proposition.